Hello everyone. This is Dr. Sneha Sagar from Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, LG Institute of Pharmacy. I welcome you all in the MOOC lecture series initiated by LG Institute of Pharmacy. So today in this session we are going to start with our biological oxidation topic, which is included in your biochemistry subject. So in biological oxidation, you have fundamental reactions of oxidation and reduction. You must have studied about the oxidation and reduction reactions in your chemistry. So what do you mean by oxidation? It means that the loss of electrons, and reduction means the gain of electron. See here the example of Fe2 plus, which is oxidized to Fe3 plus with liberation of electron, and this Fe3 plus is reduced to Fe2 plus with the gain of electron. So this oxidation reduction mechanism is applicable to the biological systems also, in that NADH is oxidized and it can form NAD plus, and the liberated electron enters into the another cycle, that is FMN, and it gets reduced to the FMNH2. Next terminology is redox potential or E0. It means that the quantitative measure of or tendency of redox pair to gain or lose the electrons. This redox potential is applicable to the biological system also. So our most important topic is electron transport chain. It is depicted in these two diagrams. It generally means that various carbohydrates, amino acids, and fatty acids undergo several metabolic reactions, and it can finally produce CO2 and water. And also it can produce some reducing equivalents like NAD plus and FAD, which further converted into NADH and FADH2. Also, this enters into the electron transport chain and oxygen is reduced to the water with liberation of the ATP from ADP and phosphate. So next, why mitochondria is considered as the powerhouse of the cell? Because several metabolic reactions undergo in mitochondria. Yes, it can produce different coenzymes like NADH and FADH2, and after entering to the ETC, it can produce ATP. So we can say that the mitochondria produces ATP, and thus it is a powerhouse of the cell. Also, mitochondria is having structural features. It has different five parts in its organization, like it has outer membrane, inner membrane, intermembrane, space, crusty, and the matrix. So now, inner mitochondrial membrane has distinct five organization. It has different complexes like complex 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the respiratory enzymes. Complex 1 to 4 are generally responsible for the carrying of the electrons, while complex 5 is responsible for the ATP synthesis. So in the ETC, we have different reactions, and it involves various compounds like nicotinamide nucleotides, various flavoproteins, various iron sulfur complexes, as well as the coenzyme Q. So, in this reactions of electron transport chain, electrons are transported from the substrate to the NAD plus to the FMN and to the coenzyme Q. Afterwards, it gets involved in the cytochrome system. In that, first it will passes through the cytochrome B, then to the cytochrome C1, cytochrome C, then to the cytochrome A, and lastly to the cytochrome A3, and finally after that it can produce the oxygen. So our next topic is oxidative phosphorylation, and which the transport of electrons through the ETC is linked with the release of the energy. So the process of synthesizing ATP from ADP and phosphate through the electron transport chain is generally referred to as oxidative phosphorylation. So here the mitochondrial oxidation of the NADH is having the P is to O ratio of 3, which is given in this reaction. It generally means that the number of inorganic phosphate which is utilized for the ATP production for every single oxygen atom. So these are various sites of oxidative phosphorylation. In that we have oxidation of FMNH2 by coenzyme Q, oxidation of cytochrome B by cytochrome C1 and the cytochrome oxidase reaction. So we have different mechanisms for oxidative phosphorylation like chemical coupling hypothesis and chemiosmotic hypothesis. In chemical coupling hypothesis, generally through the electron transport chain or through the respiratory system, various phosphorylated high energy intermediates are first formed and then ATP synthesis is carried out. So next hypothesis is chemiosmotic hypothesis, which is given in this figure. It generally represents the proton gradient. So generally the reactions involve the electrochemical gradient or proton gradient. So this diagram represents the enzyme system for ATP synthesis, in which ATP synthase is present in the complex file, which utilizes the proton gradient. Generally, this is referred to as ATPase enzyme, which is also having subunits like F1 and F0. So we have several inhibitors of oxidative phosphorylation like uncouplers. So what these uncouplers can do, they can tightly couple with the oxidative phosphorylation or ATP synthesis. And because of that, they can uncouple the electron transport chain from the oxidative phosphorylation. So this particular uncouplers can increase the permeability of inner mitochondrial membranes to the proton, and therefore ATP synthesis does not occur. And because of that, the uncouplers allow the oxidation of the substrate without the ATP synthesis. We have certain examples of inhibitors of oxidative phosphorylation. They are 2,4-dinitrophenol, DNP, dinitrocresol, pentachlorophenol, trifluorocarbonosinide, phenylhydrazone, also known as FCCP. We have some physiological uncouplers like thermogenin, thyroxine, long chain free fatty acids, and some of the molecules like oligomycin and atratylosides are also the inhibitors of oxidative phosphorylation. So from these topics, it can be asked like write a short note on ETC cycle, what is oxidative phosphorylation, give a detailed note on mechanisms involved in oxidative phosphorylation, also the detailed note on inhibitors involved in the oxidative phosphorylation. It can be also asked like write a short note on enzymes involved in the biological oxidation system. So these are the references, Principles of Biochemistry by Leninger and Biochemistry by Satyanarayan and Chakrapani. So thank you for watching this video. Please do subscribe our YouTube channel Pharma Ignite.